What is everybody? Welcome back to Truth and Transparency, True Crime Friday Night Report. We're going to go around the world. Here we go over to Cleveland this morning. We had the arraignment. Aaliyah Henderson. She has a public defender. And this is her arraignment. And it's all of 3 minutes.
This honorable court is now open in and for the city of Cleveland, pursuant to adjournment. The Honorable Jeffrey Johnson is presiding. There will be no talking. Court is now in session. You may be seated.
First up here.
Good morning, Judge. I'm going to ask if the attorneys will put their name on the record, please.
Christine Travellini from the County Prosecutor's Office, 0067957. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Assistant Bubble Defender Tina Tricarchi. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Good morning.
We ready for it.
Okay.
The very first case judge on the docket is Aaliyah Henderson. She has 2 counts of aggravated murder.
Good morning, Ms. Henderson. All right, so we're going to first hear from, regarding your bond, we're going to first hear from the prosecutor from the state and regarding charges against you, charges that you are presumed innocent, on charges that allow for you to have an attorney without cost. And after we hear from the prosecutor, we'll hear from your attorney, okay? Madam Prosecutor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is an allegation of murder in 2 separate charges. It's alleged in this matter that the defendant did cause the death of her 2 daughters, 8 and 10 years old. The badly decomposed bodies of the 2 little girls were found in shallow graves in Cleveland in suitcases. Your Honor, the defendant is 28 years old. She scores a 1 and a 1 on the PSA, has no record noted on the PSA. Your Honor, based on the nature of the allegations and the charges in this case, I would ask for nothing less than a $2 million bond. I would implore the court to consider setting a $2 million bond, cash surety at this point, for the record. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Public Defender.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Henderson is waiving a preliminary hearing on both cases, and I ask for the most reasonable bond you can give her.
Tell me a little more about it that you know.
Judge, she's been in jail 3 days, and as you've seen the public safety assessment, she's looking for a job and she has a place to live, and all of her life has been in this area. Thank you.
Have you seen her PSA?
I have. I just said, yeah.
Let's go with it. So no history of violence. History 1-1, no history of violence, no convictions, no charges. Given the nature of the allegations, as well as my concern for the safety of the public, we will deal, the bond will be $2 million. Ms. Henderson, work with your attorney, go to your hearings, and fight for your innocence, okay? Good luck, you take care.
Thank you, Your Honor.
$2 million on it's $1 million
Per
on
case.
each. I'm sorry, thanks for the clarification. It's $1 million each. All right.
Okay, wow. I really wasn't expecting, I mean, her all right, there's the Cleveland Public Defender. Who wants to be represented by her? Fucking nobody. That's my first takeaway. My second takeaway is, yes, it was $1 million for each of the 2 girls. And the judge saying, go to your court hearings and fight for your innocence. First time I've ever heard that. So again, that's as quick as it was. Oh, and, you know, she wants to waive her preliminary hearing. I mean, so she hasn't been even indicted yet. Has she been indicted? This was her arraignment. So she's just waiving a preliminary hearing. You guys, what? This is an arraignment. And what do you mean she's waiving her preliminary hearing? Like, sorry, but I got to be honest. I wrote the Cleveland Public Defender's Office today. I have no idea what the fuck we just witnessed right there. But yeah, awesome. Regardless, this is a horrific case, but what we just saw there for 2.5 minutes is unbelievable. Next. Now, here earlier in the day, 19 out of Cleveland was able to interview one of the dads, or he has to like show paternity and all this stuff. So,
heartbreaking body cam video of an unthinkable crime. The bodies of 2 young half-sisters found partially buried in suitcases on the city's east side.
Well, we did learn something else new now. They're saying that the bodies were badly decomposed because you've been trying to figure out how long, when did this occur?
It is a story 19 News is.
So that's just a little more piece that we got to the puzzle with this case out of Cleveland. Half-sisters murdered, put in 2 separate suitcases, and literally lived right there next to this baseball field.
It's been covering extensively all week. Thanks for joining us for the news at 10 o'clock. I'm Chris Fry. We've learned the little girls' names are 8-year-old Mila Chapman and 10-year-old Amor Wilson. The suspect, 28-year-old Aaliyah Henderson, charged with aggravated murder. She'll be in court tomorrow. Michelle next tonight with the breaking developments.
8-year-old Mila Chapman and 10-year-old Amor Wilson. That's Mila laying down on the bed, Amor sitting up right next to her. Young faces of innocence, now the unthinkable victims of a heinous crime in Cleveland. Mila's father, Deshaun Chapman, overcome with grief, realizing he'll never hold his daughter again, asks that we not show his face.
I've been looking for my daughter for 5 years. I've been calling CPS, going to the courts, trying to get emergency custody, calling the police for welfare checks, but they denied all access.
The 2 sisters' bodies were found in 2 suitcases, partially buried in shallow graves behind Ginn Academy. A man walking his dog on Monday made the horrific discovery.
We're shaking up right now.
Understood.
If you go, you can see the case from back here.
Police arrived to find 1 suitcase partially buried with a young child curled up in a fetal position. A stone's throw away, another suitcase, a second murdered child. But around-the-clock police work led Cleveland detectives to a home on East 162nd Street Wednesday, where they issued a search warrant, the location just feet away from where the bodies were found. Within less than 48 hours, 28-year-old Aaliyah Henderson, who lives at the home, was arrested, booked into the jail, now officially charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder. The youngest child's father, Deshaun Chapman, seething with raw emotion.
What I'm feeling is hate. I ain't gonna lie, I feel hate. But I asked you numerous occasions, just give me my daughter. If it's too much for you, just give me my daughter. I just want my daughter.
When Cleveland police arrested Aaliyah Henderson on Wednesday, a 3rd child was in the home, but we're told that child appeared to be okay. As for Henderson, the jail is her home for now. She's expected to make an appearance before a judge Friday morning, accused of 2 counts of aggravated murder for allegedly killing 2 young children. Reporting in Cleveland, Michelle Nix, 19 News.
Mayor.
The dad went on to further talk about, and I'm going to play, actually, it's an extended version. Let's see, because that was not, they interview him longer. And
Wilson, a man who told us he's the father of Mila, says that Aaliyah kept him away from his daughter, and when he tried to go through legal channels, he got nowhere.
I
Here it
tried
is.
so long, 5-6 years, calling CPS, calling the police for welfare checks, calling the board of education, trying to see where my daughter at, going to the courts to get denied.
That was the big thing I was looking for. Like, you have to put your kids in school, and there's only a handful of schools that they could have went to based on where they live over there. So I did like a bunch of research on that, made some phone calls yesterday and today, and you know that you can't get information. But then if you actually pay attention to people, you can find a pretty interesting social media paper trail, right? And so we did a lot of digging, and she was moving all around Cleveland. So she was never like leaving the Cleveland area. And I just want to know how she was living in the house that she was living in. I'm curious if there was government assistance there. Because if she was getting government assistance for them to not be able to track down her and their whereabouts, I find that hard to believe. But I think she was getting government assistance. And so I want to know how the fuck this happened.
How about the courts? So much because she a mover. She move every time somebody find out where she lives.
Deshaun Chapman did not want his face on camera because he said he wants this to be about his daughter, Mila, and her sister, Amor. The bodies of the 8 and 10-year-old girls were discovered Monday.
Look at, so they put up the little, memorials there because we were wondering like where, look at. So the other one was over there, which is right where the cop walked past before he got to this one where the suitcase was. So I'm going to actually play that body cam again. And I want to take a look at what's over there because we didn't see anything.
Girls were discovered Monday.
This is where the dog was over here.
Spots where they were left in suitcases now filled with flowers. And
I'm so thankful for the community that came out and made those little memorials. They're that's not the best of an area over there. And it's really nice to see that people came out and supported the dad and, let the little girls know that that people cared about them and loved them. This is just awful.
Butterflies.
I have no idea how this occurred. But the dad goes on to talk about the fact that how did you live right there? And your kids are right here and they're buried and you're right there next to them every day and you're taking care of the one kid while you just killed your 2 other kids and then you put them right here you're right next to them. How what are you doing?
Stuffed animals and balloons. The tokens left by family members and neighbors grieving, but also frustrated, questioning themselves and a community that failed these 2 little girls. One neighbor told us she saw signs this summer that things were off.
Yeah, we don't ever see our kids come outside and play with the other kids. We never see them come outside in the summertime and play, with the bouncy house that we put up or nothing like that.
The 28-year-old mother, Aaliyah Anderson, is locked up, again charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder for the deaths of her daughters who are 8 and 10 years old. The medical examiner has not yet released any information about how they died or when. We do know that the autopsies have already been performed.
Stacey Fry, an update on our top stories there. Thank you, Stacey. We appreciate it. Stay with.
I know there's another one. I wanted his full interview that I know 19 did. Oh, maybe this will show.
A woman has been arrested in connection with a horrifying discovery that shocked Cleveland's Collinwood neighborhood. Earlier this week, 2 young girls were found dead inside suitcases, partially buried in a field near Ginn Academy.
Well, now police say detectives have recovered substantial evidence in this case. And for background, just after 6 o'clock on recovered substantial.
Who is this?
Substantial evidence in this case. And for background, just after 6 o'clock on Monday night, police were called near East 162nd Street and Midland Avenue, right next to Ginn Academy, after a dog walker made the grim discovery. Officers found a suitcase partially buried in a field and later discovered a second shallow.
The other one was really, really buried.
Grave nearby with another suitcase containing the body of a second young girl. Investigators say the victims were 8 and 14 years old.
8 and 10.
And DNA testing revealed that they were half sisters. This afternoon, I talked with the father of the younger victim. He did not want to show his face on camera.
They don't deserve it. They should be right here. We should be doing an interview about something great they did. But now we sit here about something devastating.
In a statement, Cleveland Police Chief Dorothy Todd added, quote, "These were 2 young lives with their entire futures ahead of them. Certain information must..."
Here you go. Let me go back to, there was a let me see if they
told them was.
If he does he not have?
Hey, are you still inside the?
They had a vigil today, and somebody recorded and put it out. Maybe this is it.
That breaking news. Not respond to requests to confirm. He said his daughter and her half-sister had a special relationship.
She loved her sister. She loved her sister because I was around with her more. So she loved her sister like the typical big sister, little sister. You know, knit, mess with her, annoy her, but they love each other. Just happy. Family. Yeah, just a family. Just want to be happy.
And as we come out to live pictures of the growing memorial here at the site off East 162nd Street, and we want to mention again that the medical examiner has released the names of the victims and police.
She is happy, always smiling, always cheesing. She was a kid's kid, girly girl, kid's kid.
He told me he's been trying to get custody of his daughter, who was about to turn 9, for 5 years, but hasn't seen her for 4. As the girl's mother, he said, was constantly moving.
In the last 5 years, I done had so many different lawyers. Even the lawyers couldn't get it. They told me if I don't have no address for it, there's nothing we can do.
He saw the story of the 2 girls found on the news, not knowing who they were.
Me and my friends was just talking about how the world's sad with these little girls they found. Come to find out, is my daughter and another young lady that I was a part of her life too.
He said it was only when he heard the names of the victims, still unconfirmed by authorities, that he called the police tip line.
I contacted them, went up there 7 in the morning to
Oh my gosh, that's how he found out.
dot all the I's, cross the T's.
And submitted
He had to submit a DNA. I know that he had to do like DNA tests.
DNA sample, he said. Cleveland police did not respond to requests to confirm. He said his daughter and her half-sister had a special relationship.
She loved her sister.
Unreal.
She loved her sister because I was around with her more. So she loved her sister like the.
So there's an interview when he goes off about her and is like, how are you living right there? And I mean, it's true though. They had a candlelit vigil.
Today in Cleveland, where bond has been set at $2 million for a mother charged with the deaths of her 2 young girls. 28-year-old Aaliyah Henderson made her first appearance
Are here, and as you can imagine, they're both pretty emotional, really emphasizing their need for privacy. But dozens of neighbors here in the Collinwood neighborhood came together for this candlelight visual. There were lots of balloons and teddy bears and signs in honor of both Mila and Amor. The visual itself did end sooner than planned after families are just so overcome with emotion and they just couldn't even come to talk. And many neighbors have stayed. They're still here talking with one another, talking about this tragedy and just the questions they have. They say,
yeah, I have a lot of questions. How does this happen? Wow. How do you have 3 kids and then the next thing you know you just have one, and it's just like, how does nobody know? Were they not going to school? I mean, the neighbors were talking about how the kids didn't come out and play with the other kids, but when you start seeing that only one kid's getting in the car when they're going places, I mean, maybe they never went anywhere. I don't know. So many questions. Curious if any of the neighbors would talk. We might have to reach out. Anyways, I wanted to cover this. This is just wild. And then I think there was some mental health issues here. But to continue to live in the house that's literally right next to where the 2 suitcases are. I know that they had questioned some other people because they were talking about possibly another person would be getting arrested. It's just wow. And then what did the little girl that was in the house
still remain? They say,
what is she thinking? I mean, I don't know how old she is.
This tragedy has shocked the foundation.
I'm curious if all 3 kids have 3 different dads. I know that the family, her family, Aaliyah's family, Henderson's family, had no idea that she had a 3rd kid.
Of their entire neighborhood. I talked to local activist Laura Cohen, who says she felt it was important to come out here and follow this following the arraignment. And, she says this is less about the legal process and more about simply standing together as a community.
These are little babies who won't graduate, won't walk down the aisle, have a wedding, their own child. Their life is gone, snuffed out.
Why aren't they saying that she's like the mom? Don't you think that's weird? Like, none of the reports are talking about how like she's like their mom. I think that's just strange. Is she not their mom? I mean, you don't see like mother. You know what I mean? Like, it's really bizarre.
That's exactly why community leaders
headlines have like, father does X, Y, and Z. Mother does X, Y, and Z. That's not the headlines here.
Say they wanted to hold this visual here to give neighbors a place to come together, grieve, and support the families. Another speaker was Councilman Michael Polensek, who just asked the community to keep the children and their family in their prayers. He also thanked several neighborhood churches that have stepped forward, offering to help hold services in the coming days so the girls can be properly remembered. Neighbors say what happened here has left their community deeply shaken, and many of them say they hope to continue.
What's also weird is that the only pictures to surface are from the ones that are the dad had from a long time ago, that video, and then the mom, well, I should say the grandma and the aunt, which would be her sister, of the pictures that they had a picture of back when you should see what that photo looks like. I showed it, I think it was yesterday or the day before. All my days are running together. She was like it looked like she was at an appointment waiting in the waiting room or something with the 2 girls and Aaliyah. She looks like night and day. Again, from what I've been reading on social media, this was like she may have been struggling with some mental health issues. I don't know if she's paranoid. She kept thinking that her family was trying to take the kids from her. One of the family members believed that one of the kids had already gotten taken away. So I think a lot is going to come out, and I think it's not going to look good for the courts and how this all happened, especially if the dad's being truthful and he did everything that, and I have no reason to believe that he would go out in the news and say on any of this stuff. But especially if all that happened, he had lawyers. Dude, I found her like this. Like this. Found her. Like that. Done. Curtains. And had 6 years worth of addresses. And her most current being like, so I don't know if that man had lawyers. Fuck them. Fuck them. And if he paid a damn dollar to those lawyers, like, that's ridiculous. That's unbelievable. That, like, unbelievable. No, but he's saying that he had lawyers. The dad, when he was interviewed, talking about how, he had a lawyer. They know what to do. Again, if he's not being truthful, hey, but I'm saying that he could have looked in the Find the People search, and even just paid $1.99, he would have had her address. I don't know. We'll see. All right. This is just, you guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. Kid cases are really hard for me to cover. When you're a mom, you know what I mean? They're just, and as deep as I get into the cases that I cover, that's why. So, but this is just, there's more to this case because it has something to do with the system that this could have been prevented and should have been prevented. Prayers. And there should be as many eyes on this case as there would be if these two were blonde, and blue-eyed. And I think that it is. I'm loving the coverage that Cleveland is giving, that the media is giving to this case. Loving it, making me proud of my hometown. Then I'm so happy that all of these people have shown up. They don't know them, but they're in the community, and it's two little girls. That's what I found out about, like, when I was being Aliquippa a lot. Aliquippa is all about community. When a lot of those kids grow up together and they're like brothers and sisters, but not by blood, you become like family because you're just all hanging out. And I'm not going to lie, then a lot of people have the same baby daddies. And I'm like, wait, so they're actually brothers and you guys are like best friends now, but yet y'all had the same man at some time. Like, and they be like, stop, Lana. I'm like, no, I'm just trying to get this tree down. Like, this is why the IGG is not happening over here. So we would laugh, but Aliquippa taught me a lot about what it takes to, like, when just somebody from your community, something happens and it's a tragedy, everybody's there. And it just sucks that Beaver County is a racist fucking town outside of that area, to include the judges. Speaking of which, that's where we're gonna circle to is Sheldon Jeter Jr.'s lawyer, or not lawyer, but Judge Tesla came back and said, we gave a juror immunity, and then she basically testified that she was and committed juror misconduct, and so you're supposed to get a new trial for that. Well, Judge Kim Tesla went ahead and denied Sheldon literally after the juror was granted immunity. This happened at the end of September in 2025, so we've been waiting to hear the ruling. And the reason it came back later than was expected is because both sides kept on pushing back the brief date. There is going to be a day where I'm going to, read off both briefs and then how Kim Tesla came to this decision, but that's what happened on 2/27/2026. That order came. So now Sheldon will go and put it, that was just his direct appeal. And now he'll be putting together his, ineffective assistance of counsel and that's like a guaranteed win. It's that bad. So, but yeah, that's out of Pennsylvania. Let's even see if they did a on it. If anybody's been covering it. Because I was waiting to get, I wanted my copies of all the orders and the briefs. So let's see. Nobody in the news over there has covered it at all. But this is from
the impartiality of one of the jurors who voted to convict.
KDK investigator Andy Sheehan reports on how the newly uncovered information may put the verdict in doubt.
KDK Investigates has learned that that juror actually lived next door to Rachel Delton.
This is the story that I broke with when I was covering the Sheldon Jeter Jr. case, and I've been helping his family. That's the story that I broke in 2021, that the juror was Rachel Deltondo's neighbor, and there was a bunch of other crap.
Though the school teacher with whom Sheldon Jeter was once romantically linked. Now Jeter's defense attorneys say that guilty verdict may be tainted.
It was
What
tainted.
would be the chances, the unlikely event, that a juror, whom we are not identifying, impaneled to weigh the fate of Sheldon Jeter in the shooting death of Tyreek Pugh, would actually be the neighbor of Rachel Deltondo, the woman with whom Jeter was once romantically linked? Deltondo was shot several times in the driveway just feet from the home we've confirmed is owned by the female juror's parents.
We're definitely concerned about it. It's hard to imagine that a neighbor of the Deltondo.
He didn't put in a single motion for Sheldon Jeter Jr. Not a single one. He didn't ask for any discovery. Not a single motion was asked for supplemental. Never, not once. No, I mean, nothing. Nothing. He didn't try to move the trial. He did absolutely nothing.
Would end up on a jury for or against Sheldon Jeter.
Though he's never been formally named a suspect, Jeter has been under investigation in connection with the Deltondo murder for the past 3 years. An attorney, Santacola, says with the case's national attention, the jury
He wasn't a public defender. He never met with Sheldon. He wouldn't go and ever meet with him. He doesn't know shit about him. I'm like, how is this? What's going on here? This is like this is first degree murder case. Okay. Like he had no witnesses. He had no expert. He had no nothing. Nothing. And they didn't know the case at all. It's like, what's what? You know how when you go and look at like the Brian Kohlberg case or just name a case out there and there's just a dozen of filings? Sheldon's entire docket is only 58 pages. 58 fucking pages. That's it. That's it. And that includes all the appeals that have been going on. Unbelievable. It's just sick. And the judge that actually just denied Sheldon this trial, they just got a new trial just like that because of the juror misconduct. She lied in her questionnaire. She asked for immunity. Get the fuck out of here. She asked for immunity and they granted her immunity. And then she fucking admitted to what she did. And then they don't, what are you doing? Ugh, don't even get me started, man. Tonight's Friday night. I'm not going to get heat. I'm not going to get hot over it. Okay, I've put in, I couldn't even tell you, 1,900 hours into this case. I got one of the best crime scene reenactment specialists to take Sheldon Jeter Jr.'s case. Okay, and because of the relationships that I've been forming since 2021, Sheldon's going to have the best experts. That's just the facts. And they didn't set up a geofence. And if they did, fuck, if the defense got it, they're they did. They have no way to say and prove that cameras that they were just saying were like accurate or not accurate, or license plate readers. They did. It's whack, but it's just going to take. He should just be getting the new trial now, but he'll get it here on the ineffective assistance of counsel. It's bad. It's really bad. You had
to know of Jeter or have had strong feelings about him.
And that is potentially prejudicial in her decision in rendering a verdict?
Yeah, of course. I think it would be overtly, it could be prejudicial, and even subconsciously, it could be prejudicial.
We knocked on the door of the house, but the juror's mother said her daughter was not home. The mother gave us a phone number, but the woman did not return our calls. District Attorney David Lozier also did not return our calls asking for comment. In selecting the jurors 3 weeks ago, the defense attorneys and the prosecutors specifically did not mention the Del Tondo murder.
Can you believe that? I said to the defense attorney, I said, what are you doing? I said, you have to voir dire these jurors. You need to ask them if anybody's read, seen, or heard of Rachel Del Tondo. Do you want to know what their answer to me was? No, we didn't want to do that because we didn't want to draw attention. I said, excuse me? You didn't want to draw attention to the fact that, do you know Rachel Del Tondo? Have you heard of Rachel Del Tondo? If you've heard of that case, then you need to raise your hand and you're getting excused. You know, we didn't want to ask about it. I said, excuse me? I said, what do you think voir dire is? That's how you weed out. I said, so like that right there, that's ineffective assistance of counsel. Like, you have no idea how completely fucked this case was. And these two guys did not do anything for him. Nothing. But to hear that was their plan, that we're just not going to ask people any questions about the Rachel Del Tondo case. Meanwhile, Sheldon's name was tied to that a year or 2 years earlier. You got to be kidding me. Absolutely ridiculous.
But Sandicola says the juror should have spoken up before being impaneled.
I don't want to say that she wasn't truthful. Maybe she didn't realize it at some point in time, but I think through the course of the case, it's more likely than not that she was aware of who.
Yeah. How did you even find out? Yeah, because moi, because I was there. If I wouldn't have been at that fucking trial, this would have never happened. I was at the trial, and the family, Sheldon's family, was like, oh my God, do you see Mary? Mary's a juror. And I'm like, wait a second, you know one of the jurors? And they're like, this is a cousin of Sheldon's. And she's like, yeah, girl, I went to grade school with her. I said, she's like, she's Rachel Del Tondo's neighbor. I said, shut up. I was like, we have to go talk. I was like, she's like, yeah, what's wrong? Because they don't even know. They didn't know. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, and no, she can't be on the jury. Like, what do you mean she's Rachel Del Tondo's neighbor? Then come to find out, her husband, he is like second cousins with Sheldon, but more importantly, he saw Rachel's dead body laying there all shut up with 9 bullets in her. And it ruined his and her marriage because that fucked with him. Oh my God. Like, I'm like, wait, what? It's crazy what happened in this case. And just to think that Kim Tesla, this piece of shit judge, he's a racist, in my opinion. He fucked over Jamie Brown back in 2001. He was the special prosecutor. He knew that a cop that was shot and killed there was basically screwed over by somebody that was actually a cop. So that special prosecutor who put Jamie Brown away then becomes this Sheldon's judge. And Overwhelming evidence, my ass. Let me ask you guys a question. If the police came to your house and they didn't have a search warrant, but you talk to the police, right? And then they leave and they're gone for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. If you put a murder weapon underneath your bed, after the police left, they didn't have a search warrant or anything like that, so that they just came to talk to you. Don't you think that after the police would have left, that you would have probably, if you in fact slept with the murder weapon, that you would maybe think to yourself, oh, maybe I should get that murder weapon that I have underneath my bed and take it out from underneath my bed and get rid of it? Yeah. They're trying to say that Sheldon slept with the murder weapon underneath his bed. And that and they just left it there even after the cops just came, talked to him, left for like 4 or 5 hours, like, okay. And then came back and asked him to come to the station. And when they got him and his grandfather out of the house, they served a search warrant with nobody there. Get out of here. And oh, wait, the gun that we found underneath his bed that he just bought 6 weeks ago because he was going into the police academy. Oh, wait, this is the gun that was the murder weapon. Oh, really? Okay. And he just slept with it? But when he was supposedly killed Rachel Del Tondo, that gun has never surfaced. So he just got dumber as committing crimes to go like, I'm just going to sleep with the murder weapon. Absolutely ridiculous. And they didn't test the mattress. Why didn't you guys take the mattress to test for the gunpowder residue? Sheldon had no gunpowder residue on his hands. You need to have all 3 particles. In fact, a cop decided to get into Sheldon's vehicle after being at the scene and get into his SUV, and literally, instead of having it towed like you're supposed to, a cop from Aliquippa who was at the crime scene and moved one of the vans that was inside the tape, same dude, gets into Sheldon's vehicle with his hands without any evidence, blankets, nothing. And, oh, there was gunpowder residue that tested positive on the steering wheel. Oh, there was? Well, who the fuck drove it last? A cop. A cop that was inside the tape and moved a van so that it was out of the way from when the pictures had to be taken for the crime scene photos. Do you think any of this got brought up at trial? No. Because this idiot.
He was, and what his how his name was involved in the other case.
Yeah, maybe you should have brought that up. Unbelievable. Anyways, here's one of my videos. Sheldon Jeter Jr. was framed and I can prove it. Yeah, and I did. Unbelievable. Okay, moving on. Next. Okay, Karen Reed. Karen Reed was just in court. Karen Reed. Let's see. What a waste of a day.
Consensus moving forward. So the parties have consulted, and
so the judge basically said, are you guys sure you want to do it this way? Or do you guys want to do both sides want to talk about this? Because if we go down this path, this is not going to be good for either side, because you guys are accusing each other of basically flat out crimes and motions. But are you guys sure you don't want to handle this a different way before we start going this route? And so then there was a big recess. They talked, and literally this is what happens. This is the 2 minutes and 23 seconds that Alan Jackson flew in for. This is when you know that lawyers are all about bark, 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 bark. No bite. Never a bite.
so the parties have consulted, and I understand there's a consensus moving forward, hopefully. So Attorney Diller, why don't you set forth what's been agreed to?
Your Honor, thank you for the opportunity to meet and confer. The parties have met and conferred. The agreement that we have in place is the plaintiffs are going to withdraw the current motion that's sitting before this court. The parties have agreed to act in an expedited fashion towards either reaching a stipulation or some agreement as to how to deal with the issue for the phones on or before the date that they get released back into the custody of Karen Reed. And we have agreed that we will continue to work in good faith towards that end. I also want to acknowledge to this court and to Ms. Reed that I was mistaken when I interpreted her words to say, I'm dead, I'm effing dead.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Reed?
Alan Jackson's like, you're going to apologize to my girlfriend. You are going to fucking apologize to my girlfriend in front of everybody. Are we clear? I didn't drive all the way fucking from LA. You're going to apologize for getting the quote wrong. Now.
Your Honor, generally, that is the agreement that we've reached. The one clarification I would provide is that we are going to work in an expedited fashion to come up with an agreement for how the phones will be accessed and searched, etc. But that expressly is through our office, through Ms. Reed's counsel. Plaintiff's counsel is going to propose to us what they believe we should do to review and produce those documents, and we're going to try to agree on that kind of protocol.
And absent an agreement, you'll come back.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and the prior agreements relative to the extractions remain in place.
Correct.
Okay, and the counsel from Ms. Reed have agreed, consistent with the temporary order that I put in, that there'll be no deletions or anything made from the phones, correct? Deletions or anything made from the phones, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, so I'll just keep that order in place, and if you need my assistance, not that I did very much today, but if you
Yeah, he actually did a lot today. He basically told them, if you guys want to go down this route, there's a potentiality that you guys are all going to become witnesses, okay? And that this is, we got illegal wiretapping. We have a complete shit show, right? A complete shit show. So everything's staying the same. Karen Reed, there's a temporary order that phone cannot be fucking accessed, okay? It can't be deleted or anything like that, okay? So why did this all even happen in the first place? Because Aiden Carney illegally recorded Karen Reed because he is an absolute fucking fool and a criminal. So I think Karen Reed's hair is on fleek. It's fucking tits. Love the blonde. It's going to be awesome for the summer. She's getting ready for it already. It's March. St. Patty's Day is going to be lit as a tit. But yeah, this right here, Plymouth, going out to Plymouth for the day, flying in from LA for this fucking shit. Give me a break. What a waste. What a waste. Backseat juror, remember for 7 months, Cash App was sent Lana. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Backseat juror, Friday night true crime report. And then Carrie says, Lana on the case. PayPal. Thank you. Appreciate that. Also, I want to show you guys something. You know, you guys know I'm all about First Amendment. All day, every day. Okay, you have an opinion, state it. Awesome. Stick to your opinions about the facts. Amazing. But before I actually started my live, I popped over and saw Meredith did a live. Okay. And I don't know if she's I don't know. Did she like restart it? I just wanted to play the one beginning part. I don't even know. What the type of stuff that's going on, dude, somebody is going to get seriously hurt. And when I say seriously hurt, like people have gone out of control. Calling people's jobs, trying to get people fired, going at kids that are 12, 13, 14 years old, calling them just the most ridiculous names. And you guys, this isn't just name calling. Okay. This is fucking harassing. This is threatening. This is fucking sick. This is absolutely sick. And the crazy part is that people know who these people are and they have to hide behind their little alts, but y'all fucking know in that little entanglement. Okay. It's sick. Hold on. Let me. Let's see. Jesus. Look at this shit. I think this is, unless it's off. Live. Oh, okay, here. Is this it? Okay, here. Look at this shit. This is her intro.
You want to leave me because I recorded Karen Reed acting like a fucking cunt? Go ahead. See you later. Here's the deal. Karen Reed called me up like a psychopath. I fucking recorded her, right? For my own fucking protection. Because she's acting like a fucking psychopath. I'm not saying leave what fucking state I was in, but I fucking did it because she's acting like a fucking nut job. I don't want to do this, kid. Mary, you got a job? You got a life. You're worried about Grant Smith Ellis tagging your work? Think about the repercussions for what you're doing. You don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen. But you need to talk to me. Do not ever hang up on me.
I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to do anything. Fine, go ahead. Do whatever you want.
You don't have to. You don't have to do anything. But you didn't like when Grant Smith Ellis was tagging your work, right?
So wait, you're
You
gonna
got
have
called
people.
down for that.
So great.
That's when I start doing that.
You're gonna have people contact my work now.
I'm not saying that.
Then why are you bringing up people? Why are you bringing up people contacting my work?
I'm just saying, Meredith. Think about the consequences of your actions.
What actions? I just want to be left alone.
You don't want to be left alone. You're starting this shit.
I'm not. I've been ignoring you for 3 days.
Okay, I would finish this in like a day or two, or day. Month.
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of good content for other content creators like yourselves to discuss tomorrow.
All week, Meredith.
Mega stream. Yeah, I feel like there's more to come. Oh, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't escalate this. Kind of wrap this up, if you will. And go over the breakdown that's happening. Fucking 2 a.m. Be right back. It's 2:30 in the morning. Thank you for joining. I really enjoy being single. I'm like, I don't want to get back with her. And so anyway, relationship was all fake. We weren't in a relationship anymore. And that was our fucking relationship throughout the entire year of 2025. It was not a real fucking relationship. All right. Because she's out there saying he's cheating on me. No, there was no cheating. And so Jane sends me her new titties and I'm honest. I'm like, I'd like to put cum on those. No, there was no cheating.
Brought my daughter into it. That shit. Fuck you, Meredith. You brought my son's name into shit. You fucking posted my son's cell phone number. You fucking nasty, dead fish, motherfucking no good at sex or sexting, motherfucking cunt. I am done with this bitch.
Yeah,
this nasty bitch trying to cry victim about her fucking almost 18-year-old daughter that Jen McCabe's fucking crew all told me sucks off the whole football team.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Meredith. Your daughter's a whore. Go fucking be a mother and stop mentioning other people's kids, you fucking nasty cunt.
Yeah. So again, context is everything. And that night in the chat, we were talking about how it was
her daughter's a hoe.
How she was behaving. It was
fucking
it wasn't about her kids.
O'Neal / whatever her fucking ex's name is a fucking whore that sucks off the whole fucking football team. Fuck you. Posting my son's number, cell phone number, and name on a fucking public social media thing saying he's a drug dealer involved in drug operations when he's 13 years old, you stupid fucking cunt. Your daughter's a whore that has been fucking sucked off every fucking member of the football team, you fucking nasty motherfucker. Go be a fucking mother. Get off the internet. You dated a dude for fucking 9 months and you broke up 17 times. He don't give a fuck about you, you fucking weirdo. Eyes too fucking close together, motherfucking freak. Get the fuck off my nuts.
Yeah, I just want.
And Ray from Dallas. And let's never forget Ray from Dallas, bro. Ray from Dallas is a soldier for the turtle and justice. That guy has my back 1,000%.
I'm not sensitive like you whores is, bitch. We don't negotiate with Marxists, you long neck ostrich looking bitch.
Talk that shit. Enough is a fucking enough, bitch. You marry shit, dick sucking bitch. I hate you, you marry shit, bitch. Always nothing good for you, bitch. And all, bitch. You was the dirtiest, slimiest bitch of all time, and I hope it's a way that they could get your bitch asshole.
We're breaking this married shit bitch down, right? This dumb, dirty, blonde bitch, right? Like, and all gloves off now for this dirty, blonde head, crooked eye bitch, right?
I hate Karen Reed, I hate you, bitch, and I hate married shit. Karen Reed, you was the lowest scum of a bitch, just like this hoe. Both of you scraggly wag hoes. You stupid whore. You stupid, rotten, dirty, blonde-head bitch. Bitch, you ain't shit. You big jawbone skeleton.
I thought I was listening to a Tupac CD or like a Biggie Small CD. No. This is, Turtle Boy's bottom or top. I don't fucking know. But this is what the Karen Reed case is. And guess what? It has always been, because now that the signal messages are out and the text messages are out and the emails are out, this is absolutely fucking undeniable and unbelievable. And these people are going to get a big old wake up call here come the fall, late fall, when this man has his trial.
Face, bitch. This man, that is, bitch. You ain't shit.
I hate you, you white trash crooked eye bitch. I hate you. This piece of shit ass white crooked eye banana peel head long leg giraffe bitch. Tried to compare Jimmy to you, dirty white bitch. Anybody who fuck with this whore, fuck you. You got this long neck, bumpy ostrich banana peel head, Swiss cheese looking motherfucker. And marry shit.
What?
Who thought she could play with a motherfucker like me?
If you signs, because this fuck marriage. I love this smoke.
What?
Let me Cardi B.
All these people went, you know what? My throat. Well, they was ready.
Be over. And I think I was thinking about other women because it would make me nut faster and then it would be over. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted to watch fucking Yellowstone because I wouldn't fuck her. I mean, by the way, the sexting, and again, I have a folder here of awkward sexting. You worried about what? What happened? What?
So Meredith's nickname is 5150. You want to call her 5150? That can be your new nickname. Fine, great. Now we look like Meredith. Just heavier, just fatter, and with straight eyes that are properly set far apart. And when we talk shit about Meredith and her weird eyes, it's just fun. You guys make fun of my ass every day. Last fucking thing I would do is shack up with Meredith or Crazy Eye O'Neil, okay? Because the only thing that's going to happen is people are going to see the two of you together, and like they're going to be like, so Karen Reed and 5150 are like besties now. No. Somebody said we can make 5150 bracelets that look like hospital bracelets. I'm dead, you guys. I open up my phone and I'm like, what is this bitch writing now? Oh, fix your apartment.
What? You guys, this was one of the mainstream media like broadcasting ladies. What is this? Like, what are we watching? What the fuck is this? What's Ratchet Madness? You guys know what's March Madness, motherfuckers. I'm nominating all of you.
Fuck you, Meredith. Fuck you. Go live your life. Go be a mother to your daughter. Get some Get some lighting in your apartment that's not overhead lighting. I have a real problem with overhead lighting being your sole source of light in your apartment. You're dumb. You have no brain cells. I don't know how else to say that. I don't know if you dye your hair too much. I don't know what your fucking problem is, Meredith. Go see musicals. Go to Newport and go see the Mansions. Go to a Celtics game with your daughter, who clearly, apparently, from what I'm hearing last night, doesn't like her. Yes, I did not mention your daughter. Focus on your life. Focus on your kid. Focus on your shitty apartment. Focus on your fucking life. You're a train wreck. Yeah, so the situation with the daughter where Aiden kind of said, the situation like, girl, get out of my room. I have an issue with this. This is how I've always felt. I judge you if you're not a good mom. That's it. I really, really do. I don't want to hang with you if you're not a good mom. I haven't mentioned her. I don't have any problem. I think you're a bad mom. That's not my business. And I don't view her as being a good mother at all. And the number one reason is that she was saying in a toxic relationship that didn't work for her and her family. To Meredith, the craziest person on the fucking East Coast. And then and I'm a bigot. Not happening. Not fucking happening, cunt. Not today, not tomorrow, not any day.
This video is unavailable. What? I guess it got privated while we were watching it. Oh my God. What the hell is going on? Anyways, this is why Justice for John O'Keefe, this is what it's been doing the whole time. And nobody knew it. Nobody knew that this was all what was going on behind the scenes, like from jump. It's crazy. It's dangerous, and someone's going to get hurt. So I'm just praying that nothing like that happens, and that there can be a trial sooner rather than later for this criminal behavior to fucking stop. Not freedom of speech all day, but going out and witness intimidating, going out and breaking into people's garages. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. So fuck, who knows? Anyways, yeah. So, wow. Next up, the latest, oh God. The fuck? Okay. Where is Nancy Guthrie, right? Well, we have to come over here to the Idaho 4 case. Because I'm like, why is the Gonsalves family busted lying about the 1112 King Road family being fake? Like, what the fuck is going on? This was just 3 days ago. I don't understand.
Actually came from. See, what was requested was the entirety of the 1112 footage. And when they quoted me something basically more than my mortgage payment, I was like, no, we're not going to do this. We're going to do this in sections. So I got with my channel. I told them what was going on. And I said, let's figure out which hours we want to request. Let's do 2 at a time so that it was more economical. But my channel wasn't having that because, see, we here on this channel are here for facts and for truth. So we wanted all of it. And I didn't even have to ask. The second I told them we were going to have to slow down and do this in sections, the donations started rolling in for the FOIA. And within a matter of days, we had the entire $1,500. One of the very first issues that we had is that they tried to tell us that the footage started at around 2:20 in the morning. But see, what the reports claimed is that the footage actually started at 12:55 in the morning. And for a few weeks there, they tried to lie. But because of my persistence and the fact that I will continue to ask questions until I'm satisfied with an answer, guess what? They found the remaining footage. And for some reason, it was in a completely different folder, not with the rest. In between getting the original batch of information and waiting for the not really redactions whatsoever when it came to the 12:55 forward footage, we found the 2:27 scream. And and it took forever. But the day finally came when they told us that all of the redactions were done. So on 12/19/2025, when they finally, and they being Moscow Police Department, because you know that's who we paid for this footage, the cops, when they finally gave us the remaining footage from 12:55 a.m. to 2:30 a.m., it was completely muted, as most of you guys know. So I sent an email back and I said,
It was.
is there a reason why the entire file is muted? We were charged all of this money.
And give props. Okay. Everybody that donated to make that happen. Truth comes from documents. And I'm glad somebody actually mentioned Mark B. That's going to be the next videos that we're going to be pointing out. Mark B put out 3 really good videos. Love that. Love that fucking man. He's a good ass dude.
To pay all of these hourly fees between 3 different employees for the city. And it's literally like y'all uploaded the file, pressed mute, downloaded it, and said, okay, I'm done. And this is complete crap. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that that led to more conversations, more back and forth, and finally so worried about. See, what it doesn't show is what they've been claiming for years that it actually shows, which is Maddie and Kaylee not only getting dropped off by Eric Gower at 156, but walking into the house, getting out of the vehicle, walking across the parking lot, and going in the house. They even claim at some point to have seen and known for a fact that it was the girls, meaning for the Gonzalez's, Maddie and Kaylee, that went back outside to take Murphy to go to the bathroom. But that's not what it shows at all, does it?
Okay, check this out. See that little light over there? That little motion light?
Does it?
Oh. See how it was on? That means something moved before it. And then watch. I have this sped up, so, and then it'll go off. The only way that that light goes on is from motion. I actually talked to those people back in the day. Bye-bye, Eric. Bye-bye, Eric.
Both hands. And I honestly just can't. See, the Consalvases have lied, I don't even know how many times, definitely more than I can count on both hands. And I honestly just can't figure out why. Why are you lying? Why are you lying about things like where Kaylee actually lived and what was the story about her actually moving or not? Why is there nothing that's concrete when it comes to really anyone's timeline? So when they came out trying to act like this footage was so fake, they knew damn well that that was.
I heard that Kaylee was actually going to be Airbnb-ing her room. Not like Airbnb it, like, you know, like a sublet type of situation like that. So let me retract that. Not Airbnb-ing it, but she was going to be subletting it. Okay. But it was going to like stay the way that it was, you know, like the furnish.
Wasn't going to go very, very far because guess what we learned? When we pay for a FOIA, the families get the files the same way that we do. So for all of the little separate 5-minute files that had to be put together, and for all of the other ones that got put together and stitched into hour or longer segments, all of those files that I got sent, they got sent. So now that people are getting hip to their bullshit and are starting to ask them more questions, they're trying to play defense and they're doing it all wrong. They know that they're busted lying, and instead of coming out here and being honest, they want to lie some more. Now, we know that she is now admitting, at least the page is now admitting over on Facebook, that they just don't think the noises have anything to do with the crime.
The G family is currently going off over on Facebook because there's a creator over there, the Arlie, that is wondering why they are telling people that the 2 a.m. screams and whatnot are fake or, you know, they're not real. Whoever's online right now on the G family page said the 2 a.m. shit has nothing to do with my daughter being murdered. Therefore, it has nothing to do with the case. What's your effing point? Also, this is the caption that those replies are coming from. Family is lying to the public saying the balcony footage is fake when it's not. Why on earth would they say this? Whole interview where they even tell you that Dylan and them were cleared way too fast and they don't understand how. Now they're fighting against the public believing the FOIA released. Crazy switch up if you ask me.
That is not the same thing as the footage being fake. So maybe, just maybe, instead of coming out here and lying to people for sympathy, you could just be honest and say that you heard it, but you don't think it's relevant. You don't have to come out here and say that it's a lie just because you got caught lying. Now, when we started going through the messages between Steve Consalvis and TikToker Brett Norton from back in the summer of 2023, right after the grand jury took place, this is where we found out for sure that Steve Consalvis, and honestly, who knows who else in that side of the camp, actually did know about the 1112 cameras. They got the information from Jack Ducour, who helped them get access from the actual owner of the camera. And not...
Okay, so I had a list of things that are my top 50 questions. And one of those questions is to ask if Ann Taylor ever found out or asked the people that owned the 1112 cameras, like, who did they give out the video, like, surveillance? Who had access? You know, who had access to that camera? Who had the passcode? Who was sent the little clips? Like, wouldn't you think that that'd be a really important question to ask? Yeah, it's in my top 50.
Not only in that conversation did we find out that the writer of this completely horrible waste of trees hooked the Consalvases up with 2 grand jury members who told them that Dylan and Bethany did literally nothing but add more questions than answers to everything and seemed extremely shady. But this is also where we found the lie being put in black and white saying, no, the porch shows the girls getting dropped off and walking into the house, and none of that noise is happening. The only part here that Steve isn't being dishonest about is the noise. You know why? Because it was muted. And for anyone else that wants to try to play with my credibility, all you have to do is pay the duplication fee for all the footage. What's wrong? You broke? You need to borrow $30? I got you. I have honestly never seen a...
Okay. So I've been telling you guys that the families have been lied to a lot in this case, like an absolute lot. Okay. And just like Jules was sent the version with no audio. Okay. The Gonsalveses can answer this for themselves, or they don't have to. Did you get sent it with the audio or without the audio? Because nobody can deny the 227 screams. They're there. They happened. But I think the bigger question is why the fuck was it ever muted, right? Why was it ever muted? And I don't think that anybody should have to pay for all of this fake work, to be honest. You know what I mean? The hours that it took to do all of this way should never cost us. Because there was nothing to redact. You know, upload, press down, go. Like, how could it cost $1,500 if you think about it? Okay. And this is when I was saying that Moscow, they need to be sued. Because this is extortion, in my opinion. This is fucking crazy.
Family fight against the truth coming out as much as this one has. And the fact that they've basically demanded transparency from the investigation the entire time, and now the transparency is happening, and they are literally out of their own faces telling us to not read documents. Come on. And that's
okay. Now, moving on. I was interested in, they found Maddie's jacket. You guys know this, right? The family found Maddie's jacket. And I said, well, whose jacket is it? The black jacket that she was wearing, there had a macaroni piece in it. So, like, who? Let me show you. So all of that, just, wow. Oof. Let's see. God. Hold on. Okay, this is a year, 2 years ago. Now we haven't heard from them in forever.
I think the obvious one is visibility, the cast visibility report. Maybe I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up because
Oh, the cast via via cell traces.
Because there's a lot of different things that Viz could mean. I think
And gave his DNA. And
So then I said to myself, what are the odds when I was looking this up that, because I never covered this whole whatever Steve texting with whoever it was, brat, but they start from the beginning here.
Okay. Is Brat says it's I want BK to be involved and them not to have the wrong person. Trust me, Steve, we're working so hard behind the scenes for the truth to come out, and we just want justice for you and your family. But what's hard is we all feel strongly it wasn't overstocking and others are involved, including BK. Then supposedly Steve says they have him buying the K bar and trying to hide how he purchased it. And she says, yeah, I definitely think BK is involved. It's all on camera and she says, yeah, I definitely think.
What have you heard about the protected witness? Why didn't you read that?
BK is involved. It's all on camera from what I've been told. His car, Murphy freaking out, him taking off at 4:21 a.m.
It's all on camera from what I've been told. His car, Murphy freaking out, him taking off at 4:21, which is basically, 4:20 and 50 some 40 some seconds.
That's another really interesting thing is everyone kept saying it was so silent. It was so quiet. Why wasn't the dog barking? Well, for one, that's not what we heard from the PCA. The PCA literally says Dylan heard things. Also, that the dog was barking, that there's distorted audio and there's a dog barking on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we know that things were heard. We know that the dog was barking. We know that.
Guys, the jacket was found in Kaylee's room. I pointed this out when we went through all the crime scene photos. That big jacket that Maddie was wearing was found in Kaylee's room, and it was put in a bin that went to Kaylee.
There was noise. It was not quiet.
Yeah.
That I feel like we can throw that whole "it was quiet" out the window. All on camera from what I've been told.
Well, we don't know exactly whom, but lots speculated Brent Kapaka. We can't find death certificate, and that whole situation is just odd. No comment. That sounds okay. I agree that something with BK and Kaylee. I always feel Kaylee knew something more about something she wasn't supposed to know because of the search warrants kind of be similar. I was going through the warrants, and they seemed to hone in on Kaylee.
Car, Murphy freaking out, him taking off at 4:20, right? Guy, right? The one who helped connect them with a great.
I have to keep the witness under wraps. The FBI warned me they don't play games with protected informants, and they could be monitoring everything I say. We've noticed some quite odd communications behaviors. Okay, so guess who the protected witness is? Molly. Fucking Molly. Molly was this protected witness. That's what my take is on that. She's the only person that nobody knew about. Molly. Why did you stop working with Bloom? Some other author wanted to work with us. Peterson, I think. Patterson it was, though. Well, he wanted me to do all this digging, and I was kind of on a different trail. He was more about the mainstream stuff, and I'm after the truth. Nothing bad happened. I just got busy digging, and I think expected me to just bend over backwards for things he needed right then. But I was working for him, if something know what I mean.
Peterson.
Okay.
And that the Peterson guy is the one who helped connect them with a grand jury member. Interesting, right? Into.
I can't believe something we're out together before. Have you seen this? Oh my God, no, I haven't. $12:28 a.m.
The apartment, like where all those cars are parked and stuff. and asked if she's seen it. And also the video of that guy grabbing something out of the dumpster that we've talked about before.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yep.
And that Jack did a lie detector.
Yep. I remember when Fry would just say both Jacks have been cleared. We don't get that information anymore. Jack has kind of re-entered the chat, if that makes sense, but we all want to respect your family. And if y'all say Jack's not involved, we believe you. Jack did a lie detector and he gave his DNA. But Adam, Jack, and Jack's whole story was always suspicious from the start. I'm 100% following you. Those cameras also show him entering his house and going to bed.
And gave his DNA, and there are cameras. He can't get to their house without being on camera, or at least not very easily. And that Brian Koberger is toast over the cast. Viz?
The cast Viz, which guess what? The cast Viz is all shit. So, like, that's where I know that for a fact right there, like, Steve was lied to about the cast Viz. You know what I mean? Like, you guys, you have to look at it so many different ways here. You know, I've said this so many times. If I repeat something that somebody tells me, am I the liar, or is the person that told me not the truth the liar? So
Last Viz cell traces, the grand jury member said. What?
You asked about Dylan. Do you know if she left that night? They said they shouldn't have even called them as witnesses. They didn't help at all. That's interesting. Because Dylan plays what seems to be the only role in the time frame. Yeah, exactly. I guess now, besides all this footage, they created more questions than answers. Dylan did. Well, yeah, because duh.
What does Viz mean? V-I-S.
Cast Viz.
After cast.
I mean,
Or is he misspelling again?
I think probably.
That makes sense. Yeah, I 100% agree. Now she's talking about they create more questions than answers. Remember, once we got the reports, you guys, this created when this came out on the internet back when the trial was still on schedule, back in the day, this created Payne and ISP having to go and what they claim is allegedly go and try to talk to, you know, Gray and Steve and ask them questions about this, of which they refused to respond. Remember that?
They shouldn't have even been called as witnesses. They didn't help only roll to the time frame. I guess now, besides all this footage, and Steve says
to come out and explain it, right? And look, if Brian Koberger ends up being proven to be the guy and be guilty,
he said he wanted to speak with.
Did he cut himself shaving? Okay, go inside the house and hear things firsthand. This book will be released before the trial, and he putting that in the book and why he said he wanted to speak with us. What? We've been going back to beginning and looking through socials and the times. Let me know if Jenna was a part or you have heard anything about any of the girls. We have been fighting to keep the house mowing this. We have been fighting to keep the house. Yeah. The house should stay. It's so important, in my opinion. That is odd on the timestamp. I don't know. Could be random. Just wanted your feelings. The girls surrounding her.
Us.
You seem like
and they're trying to fight the house being torn down. Basically, that makes sense. It shows cars all parked in the front, and we have talked about a white truck passing there. It comes from here because in this, Brett Norton claims she's the one who released that. That she put out information Steve was giving her, and people were telling her that they were basically giving her crap online about it. And Steve says about this picture that the camera is way closer and shows them getting dropped off. No one was getting killed at 156.
Just taking us down memory lane on a Friday night.
That means this had to have catched the DoorDash. It had to have caught the DoorDash too from Linda Lane. It just wasn't at 1122 King.
But don't take my word on that. Honestly, only a few of us heard it if it is so hard, so we're working on cleaning up audio. It could be anything like a TV, but that's what we're working on right now is that audio, dissecting it. Look at this timestamp. Got it. This camera is way closer and shows the girls getting dropped off. No one was getting killed at 156. I don't think anybody was getting killed at 156, but I definitely have issues with Kaylee and Maddie's phone never moving after 2:53. This is so going to trial, and nobody realizes that this is
road. So he's essentially, he says in this that audio from that camera and the Linda Lane, they don't match up. They're not the same. So whatever was going down that Linda Lane thing where people were fighting and things were happening, it wasn't happening at 1122 King Road.
Okay.
Because this the lane snap, the shot, if they had been interviewed,
AI,
this basically he been, you know, if the weakest footage, hoping to suggest that this is all the problem.
I think the audio is real. It's just picking up a fight that is one of the large apartments that are much closer to the camera. It is over a football field away, and the footage we have is like 40 feet away. And you don't hear anything of that fight at 155. Well, it's because they muted the audio, I think, during the Kaylee drop-off time, didn't they? Yeah, they did. That's why he doesn't hear anything at 155. It mostly and putting out the weakest footage, hoping to suggest that this all the prosecution has. Wait, what? It mostly and putting out the weakest, and Taylor is not putting out any footage. What the fuck? You guys, Ann Taylor did not put out any footage. They're gonna give us Nugget. I give you Nugget. It's gonna go to trial. It's going to trial. Nuggy. There you go. Nuggy Wuggy. Nuggy Wuggy Bear. Hitler, stop giving us stiff for a reason. It mostly and putting out the weakest footage, hoping to suggest that it all the prosecution has. It just doesn't make sense that everything that leaks is shit the prosecution didn't even use in the grand jury case, which they weren't a part of. Ann Taylor wasn't leaking anything.
Prosecution has.
On the audio from like 2 to 4, you don't hear anything like an argument. I always thought this argument sounded like Ethan, but I could be wrong. She hasn't sent it to me.
It just doesn't make any sense, which it's in this case, and it's the defense very well been used on both sides. Because when the
it didn't help
when the tires hit the road or whatever, the asphalt hits the road. When those jurors are in there watching the real footage that matters, this isn't going to matter anymore.
For the
it has not helped.
It's just not confirmable because it's so bad, is what I'm getting at. So it should be like thrown away.
And for some time, it's all you.
Hopefully she'll send me this Instagram live thing. I don't know. She said she was scared. So what? I just don't understand who they're all scared of. We've heard the hunter came over details, but we didn't have a timestamp. Now, what hunter are you talking about? Oh my goodness, there's a nuggie. There's a nuggie. We heard the hunter coming over. Well, what hunter? TCD. Huh? TCD.
Can hear. I talked to Hunter. He said he found.
Yeah, I have Michael J. Fox in there saying 2 or 3 people walked Xana and Ethan back to the house. Wait. Fox is a he came in and he's actually a detective. He said Ethan's best friend and that person's girlfriend. So we all think Hunter and Emily Allant. Yeah, well, that didn't happen. It odd she didn't mention the dog because the grand jury say that is how it starts. And for sometimes it's all you hear. You guys, the grand jury was absolutely lied to. We now know this because Bethany made the call to Dylan. Understand? Capiche? And that's not how it was presented to the grand jury. And they said that they were sleeping. And they weren't.
Ethan. We also talked with a neighbor the day this happened. She had a wild story that she heard from the survivors saying what happened. So the survivors talked to a neighbor?
Now that I would be interested in hearing. What is
And
the
that nothing
wild
was
story?
mentioned about the dog. So does that mean in Dylan's statement she never claimed to have heard the dog barking?
Exactly.
So does that mean in Dylan's statement she never claimed to have heard nothing was
how it starts and for some time it's all you hear. I talked with Hunter. He said he found Ethan. We also talked with a neighbor the day this happened. Yeah, through Jack. She had a wild story that she heard from the survivors saying what happened. There you go. You know, I would just love to know what that neighbor's wild story was. If Hunter was there walking them home that night, but left and came back in the morning, yes, Dylan needs to be under questioning, in my opinion. I feel like the local cops used her statements only to point to BK. They did.
mentioned about the dog? She only said she heard like playing, but what, no barking or growling?
I don't know.
I miss them. Where are they?
Because didn't all of it start with her claiming that she heard Kaylee playing with the dog and then after?
Exactly, but that's not even true because it all started when Bethany called Dylan.
After that, Kaylee said, I think someone's here.
I believe so. Yeah, without pulling it up in front of me. Yeah, I think.
I don't know. If I'm wrong, let me know. I still can't memorize all of that. Like, I still can't.
No, I'm not even going to try. I won't be able to.
Interesting one.
Okay.
The girls' toxicology.
I know you probably don't want to talk about possibility of drugs involvement, but I mean, it is college. We've all been there. And to see Dylan and Quinn had a major drug problem. That's what I was told. I was told that Dylan was CI, FBI back at the end of high school. CI for the FBI. And then she would like come and go but it wasn't that she. And, you know, I'm not judging at all, but the mom's getting out and off their charges. And Emma Bailey, like, what is up with all these drug charges getting dropped in Quinn's dad? We have very scary background info on him. The girl toxicology report came back clear. Stacy said Ethan was clear as well, which they were.
Reports clear stories with he talks about basically the drug theory and buying weed seems fake, to be honest.
Xana's family has some history, but I was told she did party drugs like Molly, but nothing that was hardcore that could lead to behaviors like this. Listen, I've been told or heard a handful of things I will never speak of. And frankly, when it comes to the drug thing, the kids are in college. They partly no one cares who hasn't partied. But to what extent Dylan is in deep with Quinn, I don't know. And or Xana, like seriously, this is like the part of the case that I don't really discuss publicly too much, maybe in some lives, but I'm very much like there are some bad people hanging around like Emma and Demetrius.
Kids would just nothing much after and hated it.
Buying weed seems like, to be honest, like the kids would just go down the street like 8 miles and get it from a store. That's true. Floyd's. Christy went with them once just to check it out. Kaylee would be super paranoid and hated it. Yeah, they wouldn't do drugs. I've never done drugs ever. Christy barely before we got together. Nothing much after. The drug shit seems Hollywood, knowing the toxicology reports were all clear. No, just BK and Brent and Enon, not the kids. But yes, I agree with would seem silly. Why not just buy it? However, I know Enon is a drug dealer. He was. He's not anymore.
I've never done drug wood, knowing that just cartoon-like rappers are a clear giveaway.
The weed they have just over the border seems to be what everybody was getting. Like we've been at senior night like 5 times. And the cartoon like rappers are a clear giveaway.
At senior nights like 5 times, and the cartoon like rappers are a clear giveaway. No pro is going to
plus explain how a hit missed Ethan and Kaylee's new car. Yeah. Ethan and Kaylee's new car. That's interesting. Why does he think that that's Ethan's new car? What do you mean? No pro is going in to rough up someone not knowing who all is in the house they're about to shake down. Honestly, the drug killings seem way far out there.
Rough up someone, not know who all is in the house they're about to shake down. Honestly, the drug killing seems way far out there. You think if there was a hit and there was a new car there, the people wouldn't go in?
No, there's nothing that would have stopped it.
Agreed.
If
there's a legit hit on you, they're going in there no matter what. The odd thing is their stories are mixed with 2 different events.
Woohoo! There it is. Odd thing is their story are mixed with 2 different events. Ding, ding, ding. I bet they are. I always thought that was the exculpatory evidence. That just doesn't even make slut. Wait, not what happened. What? See? Because Bethany's wouldn't add to Dylan's. So Dylan's firsthand account won't come off as valid. Thus, this whole eyewitness thing, which scares me because clearly BK was there. Another thing is Kapaka was 36. My girls would want nothing to do with any old school loser who wanted to hang out with 16 years younger.
2 different events.
Right there.
There's no more him clearing that up because the next thing he mentioned
right there, he fucking says it's the odd thing is their story are mixed with 2 different events. Thank you. There you go. He's talking about Bethany and Dylan. There you go. Is this an old riot show? Forgot the show name, Brenda. Yeah. Yes, I went here because I just wanted to use these text messages.
Is Kopaka was 36. My girls would want nothing to
and I like them. I miss them. I hope they're doing well.
Do with any old school loser.
For one, that's not always true. For necessarily, it can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I loved it. They covered the Moore case.
Loved I think they are after the cops check.
But BK purchased a K-bar and Dickies overall outfit and can't explain where they are after the cops checked all his belongings and could find either one of them. They never asked that of BK. He was never questioned on that. But see, that's what they told him. Okay, the cops, the feds. They're basically saying he bought this Dickies outfit, but I have a question about the Dickies receipt. And it's like, where is this thing that you just bought? Oh my God, I knew someone would wear something like that.
Checked all his belongings and couldn't find either one. He sends a picture of what the suit looks like, apparently.
That really crime related. That
placed it in a plastic garbage bag, and she noticed his
remember the report, BF Bethany Funk saw a naked guy. We heard he took this off at the glass slider, placed it in a plastic garbage bag, and she noticed his leaving in his underwear. Oh my God. The Dickies was a beanie. Yeah, that's what I said. You guys, Bethany Funk saw a naked man. So then she saw him downstairs because Bethany never came upstairs, right? Gonna get wild in here. Remember the report? Bethany Funk saw a naked guy, but there was no report. We have, unless she told that to the fucking feds. Oh my God, because that's who Steve's talking to. The Fed report. Where are the Fed reports? There it is. Bethany Funk told the feds that she saw a man. She probably didn't know if, hey, I don't know if I was dreaming, but I think I saw a man, somebody naked running out of the house. I mean, she went upstairs. They have the receipt for it, and he purchased it at Pullman Walmart, also on camera. That's you guys. Steve isn't lying. This is what he was told. God. There it is. We got a streaker. I believe it's in the federal report. I believe that Bethany Funk talked to the feds. Just like Dylan talked to the feds on the 13th of December. December 13th, Dylan was interviewed. There's no interviews reported in the Idaho State Police paperwork or Moscow Department, police paperwork reports. So the December 13th interview for Dylan was with the feds. And Bethany, she was interviewed by the feds.
Is leaving in his underwear. They have the receipt for it, and he purchased it at Pullman Walmart. To do that, interesting. When the way he texts, okay.
I am not what is all being said, but I have heard repeatedly DM is shady and should be looked into.
It's hardly legible in some areas, but I have heard repeatedly DM is shady and should be looked into.
That's who the people being cleared too quickly. That's exactly what he was told. So somebody told him that. And you want to know who I think that source is? I think that source is Maisie to her mom, and then Stacy to Steve. Okay, that's where I think that's coming from, or like potentially from Maisie, who's talking to Patterson. I mean, remember the whole thing with the Patterson book is that Maisie told Dylan to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Dylan. Nobody's got time for your fucking shit, okay? You pathological fucking liar. You vampire loving motherfucker, okay? Go suck somebody's blood, Dylan. All right? So it would make sense that Maisie is the source of, like, Dylan's fucking shady. Fuck her. Someone look into her. You know what I mean? God damn it, Dylan. If I hear one more fucking thing about this fucking, you're over here quoting Vampire Diaries, you're lucky we don't out you. But those sleuths are going to find it, I'm telling you. And then here, she's like, wait, what? The grand jury members both said they didn't believe her testimony, and it created more questions than answers. They said some of them said she would be investigated, but for a reason that we do not fully understand, they didn't feel BF was as shady. We only had so much time to ask questions. Basically, like, keep that girl off the fucking stand. But Bethany Funk came off less shady than Dylan. So Dylan's in there just blowing everything up. But if you think about it, it's the cops that just didn't ask any good questions to really get into, because I think it just doesn't make sense for anybody. Like, you saw a man with a mask and you weren't scared. No, we do that all the time. And you didn't call the police. And there's no, were they pointing out the fact that there was no blood trail leaving from the house, so it could potentially look like the killer came and still remained in the house?
Not texting very well. I've heard from multiple people saying across, actually, she's shady. Okay, should be looked into. And it created more questions than answers. They said some of them said she would be investigated, but for a reason we don't fully understand, they didn't don't know. Is that DM and especially Bethany? Okay, Dylan.
This is serious shit, which is why I'm trying to ask you if she's jerking my chain trying to get info out of me for some reason, which I'm not saying a word. But when I say I do believe the naked man was running, she was dead silent for a couple of minutes. One thing most people don't know, if DM and especially BF are well connected and have friends in powerful positions. What? One thing people don't know is, I think you meant to say, is DM and especially BF are well connected and have friends in powerful positions. There it is. Duh. DM, I'm telling you, was an FBI CI. Back in the day, I heard she would I heard she would come and go. That's just what I was told from I think a pretty reliable source, and it's not anybody from like YouTube or anything like that. This is somebody that's in a professional capacity. And I was told this before there was ever an arrest.
Especially Bethany, are well connected and have friends in powerful positions.
Yeah, I read that one. It says, don't know if.
One thing most people don't know, if DM and especially BF are well connected and have friends in powerful positions.
Yeah. So when I was reading that, I read that as like question.
Oh, okay.
Not statement.
No, I read it as statement because it's not if, it's is. Okay. One thing most people don't know is DM and especially BF are well connected and have friends in powerful places. It's not if, it's an is. He just, audio, whatever, AI, text to, or talk to text, which makes me freaked out, like almost since I'm speaking with someone who saw it. What the fuck? Can I call you on this? We have videos, so I was thinking it's one I already have.
One it says don't know if
are well connected.
Question before.
Be careful that you'll get super confused.
Okay, I feel like I'm talking to somebody. Only more talking will give me those answers. What channel are you? I don't watch 95% of the online stuff because one of the FBI reps said be careful what you watch because once a few months and then years pass, you'll get super confused about where you got your facts from. And all it takes is getting it wrong once, and the media will destroy your rep. And you wouldn't be talking to any of them after that. Wow. Okay, Ed Jacobson. Nick Balance. I totally think it's. I think
years down the road.
Steve was talking at Jacobson. If I had to pick, he has an office in Coeur d'Alene, and he can't help but just run his gob. Fucking just
road and not know what your facts are, where you got them from, and all it takes is getting something wrong once, and the media will destroy your reputation, and you won't be talking. Back in Pennsylvania before the
shit. No, I am IT, and we don't allow TikTok on any company devices. 100% the truth. I bet I've never seen your show unless I watched it via the browser. I also am very careful with what I say. I'm the only one who did the Emma Bailey series video. What? That's what got Howard Bloom's attention. The fuck? And a lot of attention. Ha ha ha. Well, my YouTube is beyond the bullshit, but I don't put much content on there. Wrong with these text messages. He went down because of the informant. He didn't plan on getting caught. What? Wait. Sent to Washington, and that the FBI were already there. The FBI was there. He went down because of the informant. He didn't plan on getting caught.
Okay.
So he essentially says that the only way, and there's more messages kind of about this, that the only way he got caught was because of the FBI, that the Moscow PD would have never caught him.
What?
The FBI is the sole reason that he got caught, and he was already being monitored in Pennsylvania.
Who said
Which
that?
almost makes me wonder, is there actually
Who the fuck said that?
some kind of legitimacy to the Russian hacker theory? Was, if Brian Koberger is
Wait,
guilty,
who
was
said
he,
that?
Moscow PD with more messages kind of about this, that the only way he got caught was because of the FBI, that the Moscow PD would have never caught him. The FBI is the sole reason that he got caught.
Yeah, because the IGG, which they're not talking about. So the informant that they're talking about too, is it a family member?
Guilty. Checking him?
Would be, but if you're doing the dark web right and he is trained in that stuff, you can't just be tracked.
True.
It doesn't work like that. That you cannot be tracked.
The FBI do regularly try to monitor the dark web, though.
They online marketplace for all things illegal, for drugs, guns, hits.
Hits and tits.
That says, not the pool party around the same day as Brian Koberger.
He went down because of the, okay. I have pics from the pool party I can send to you. Maybe you can compare. This other neighbor person also puts BK, Brian Kapaka, and Ian Harsh together, buying weed from Ian, smoking together. It was some indoor pool party, I think, at a hotel-like location. Christy has the photo. What? Indoors? There's no indoor pool party. Wonder if there's multiple pool parties. Not the pool party then. BK was at the Grove. Outdoor apartment complex party. Check the photo, please.
At that and a complex. I can get it.
We're trying to link BK. We need a connection. The public needs to see connections. I just show a single photo, all the kids together, and it was inside. Kaylee and Maddie. It might have been Jack also. What? I can get it. I was just pissed at Chrissy because I asked about a pool party and she said she didn't know. Then she shows me a fucking pool pic and I was like, what the fuck, babe? Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, I was just mad because Christopher linked in. They took Kaylee's down, which is.
He liked via Instagram, seems LinkedIn also. They took Kaylee's down. They will not let us have access, so Gray said it's got to be part of the case.
Remember, with Chronicles of Olivia talked to Olivia, Kaylee's sister, and the account was literally taken down the next day. And Olivia called the police department and was like, why?
Yeah, that's true. That happened. What else? Wait. These people are fucking sick, Steve. I'm so disturbed. She was crying to me on the phone. She's a mess. And then I told her I need to go. She begged me to stay. And what I heard going on, I am disgusted. What the fuck? We do have a long story about another story that came from a jailhouse. What? So-called jailhouse snitch. But it never developed into anything we could find proof of. But we spent weeks trying and interviewing some shady leads. Hold on. That might be. That was the ISP one that they decided not to do anything with, I think. I will never tarnish Kaylee's name ever. I think that some shit was going on with Dylan. She's the person that connects these lowlifes. She is for sure, but she is protected by her stepmother's law firm. Oh, shit. We need that. But she was full cooperating, but through an attorney, I get it. But sounds like there was some power in that firm. They're also being helped by Jack Showalter's family. They treated to sue my pretty early. They threatened to sue me pretty early into the case. Sent someone to my house. They trespassed, came down my driveway right up on my porch. It was pretty wild. They have a full phone dump of both girls' phones. They do. That's what I put in for. That's what all I need. I just want their fucking phone. I just need their steps. Give me their steps. Fuck all this. Oh my God. Ooh. What is up, guys? Happy fucking Friday. Happy Friday. Just take us around the true crime world and and down on memory lane down the Idaho 4 case. It's the perfect way to end your Friday. Yeah, and I know there is probably a lot more of that weird shit that you don't know or aren't telling me. Is her name Amber H? Amber H. Nope, definitely not Amber. Oh, July. There we go. That's what I needed. July 18th, 2023. Fucking A, man.
They threatened to sue me pretty early, and they have a full phone dump of both.
I don't know if this is true. Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk are protected by big, giant, powerful families. Like, that's accusatory, and that is making a guilty assumption of them in this case. And I feel weird talking about.
Dude, people are protected because they're also victims of sex trafficking. Where is my Annie Potts? Annie Potts, for the record, is the one that put fucking the Sting on the map 2 weeks ago. Annie Potts talking to me about, the trafficking and the new bill and Nye and Vicky Gooch. And I was like, oh my God, Vicky Gooch only interviewed Dylan, and that's it. I said, no other person did Vicky Gooch have any involvement with.
That because one, I don't even know if this is real.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I don't want to go down that road until it's verified 100% that are doing your
lawyer. If it's a lawyer, be careful with that. But it's also not fair to say somebody's being protected by powerful people just because they have a lawyer.
Oh, I think that Dylan definitely was protected by the powerful people. The FBI is pretty powerful, guys. I don't know about y'all, but the FBI is pretty powerful. Also, the way that Idaho, I mean, they basically use victims, but they make the victims become arrested due to something that, like, you guys, I read that all, like, but here in this situation, and then Victoria Gooch is just like, what the fuck? And then Victoria Gooch never came back around.
You know what I'm saying? That Kaylee.
Okay, but she would have written it somewhere, but you'll think it's normal writing, like nothing telling, but it was everything in that journal entries. We got diaries, journals. She only lived there for 6 months and was home most of that time. COVID made remote classes pretty common. I needed to understand that trust here is impossible in this case. So I know how hard it is to determine who is being real or who just, like, I don't know, is brought out of the crazies. Plus, she was working full time for an internship, so school was quite light. Just had to finish a few classes to graduate. That's all true. Facts, and more facts. Why did she ever put this out? Whatever made this broad like release Steve G's messages? You know? Put your thoughts in the comment section about that. Yeah. How about okay, you guys remember this? Okay. I'm going to play one last thing and then we're going to call it a night. Ready? Does anybody remember why this person ever released Dylan Moore or what's her name's stuff? So remember when Dylan Mortensen breaks her silence, close friend reveals what actually happened with the Idaho 4? This came out, premiered January 13th, 2023. Okay, remember this?
Around the time that Brian Koberger, everything we've learned since.
The facts in this video has received prior permission from Dylan Mortensen. I believe it, is that spelled wrong? Yeah, right there. To be shared with the masses. There's plenty of other details and information she has allowed me to release, but this was the most important facts that she wanted to clear up first. There's 4 shocking details she has been specifically instructed by the prosecutor that she cannot release. 4 shocking details. Hopefully this helps clear a lot of speculation going around YouTube.
I think it's important. That's
so. Before we dive into what I'm referring to about the feds screwing or attempting to screw Dylan, and give you a brief background as to who I am. So my girlfriend is in Dylan's inner circle. And by inner circle, I mean inner circle. Like they've hung out almost every day since the incident occurred. And I've seen her a plethora of times as well. So you're going to notice I'm not going to use words like allegedly, supposedly, because all of this is actual firsthand factual information. Where should I start to clear things up? First of all, there's a lot of misconception about Dylan suffering from PTSD or trauma or any of that. None of that is accurate. In fact, when we try to console Dylan after the incident, she's the one that was laughing at me and my girlfriend and I, talking about we're so weird, and we tried to give her a hug and stuff. So she's still the same old Dylan. She's had a rough life growing up. She's been through a lot. She doesn't have PTSD and didn't suffer any trauma. The incident that night, and what I'm referring to with the feds actually put a lot of words into her mouth that she didn't say herself first. So there was a lot of leading statements that they were insinuating to her. And she was really scared the first few days, obviously.
Think about this. Think about this. I believe this is accurate. I'm going to tell you why this is accurate. Because the first couple of days, like she was scared or whatever, because she didn't talk to anybody
after the incident occurred. So like the reason none of it makes sense in the affidavit is because it didn't really happen that way. So she never stood there shocked when she saw the individual.
Check, bitches. That is absolutely correct. Okay. Dude, I am telling you. Listen to this shit. This came out January 2023. Like right after the arrest. Right after the probable cause was released. It was like, I don't know, 10 days later.
She was just standing in a doorway, like anybody who opens the door. It was just, she opened the door and yelled at Ethan and Xana, and who she thought was their friend. She yelled at them to be quiet. That's what was going on with that situation. And she just went back into her room. She locked the door like usual and, went to sleep. Everything was quiet after she yelled at them. So she didn't think anything of it. For everyone who's creating these random stories about.
Okay, so think about this. Listen to this. This is your 227 shit. In my opinion. But remember, though, she doesn't remember when Ethan and Xana came home. Okay. But if she did this earlier, all right, then what? Like, then something. Remember, it's mashing up two different events Steve was talking about?
Her being shocked or traumatized, is she didn't realize anything was going on. And it might sound crazy, it might sound dumb, but she really had no clue anything was going on. They're being a little loud, so she yelled at them to be quiet. And that's it. She locked her door and she just went back to her room. And she didn't want to be nosy or anything. So, she was kind of new to that house, so she didn't want to be nosy and, get up all up in their business, especially at, in the middle of the night or early morning. So it's as simple as that. Everyone trying to blow that whole situation into something that's not. So yeah, that's that. And she didn't actually get a real good look at Brian. At the time, she assumed it was one of Xana and Ethan's friend who was just getting ready to leave, who was walking out. She didn't get that good of a look. The feds were really aggressive with Dylan the first few days, which is why she hired the attorney to begin with, because of the treatment of her during the interview, more like an interrogation, to be honest.
Dude, the Fed, I'm telling you, there's another Fed. There is a Fed interview that I think took place between the 13th and the 17th, in my opinion. We got to go back and listen to the 17th to see if she talks about talking to somebody if she slips.
So that's why she got an attorney, because the way they were talking to her and, they didn't really understand or believe why she's the only one alive when you kind of skip rooms to get to the other two rooms.
That's exactly what fucking Victoria Gooch said to her. Exactly what she said to her. She's like, well, and then Dylan said that those exact words. She's like, I get it. I understand. Like, you have to go past my door.
So she didn't really like the feel of how the interrogators or the feds were talking to her. And within like a few days after the incident, they approached her with pictures of Brian. It was like, is this the guy? Do you think this is the guy? This is definitely him, right? And they were almost leading her to believe this has to be the person. And she wasn't really sure, but they kind of put those words in her mouth. It's almost like, they were insinuating it so much to where she was like, yeah, I think, no, it's definitely him.
Now that's a goddamn lie, right? Now that's a goddamn lie. Unless that interview is somewhere else. Then the feds buried that shit. I'm telling you, I don't know. I fucking don't know about that. That's interesting because remember the feds had Brian Kober's name way before they ever gave it to Payne and their stupid asses.
And that's when they just kind of like ran with it. So what you see in the affidavit is it didn't play out that way. So Dylan's attorney and her, and actually all of us are pretty upset at how they threw her under the bus in the affidavit. When's the last time you've seen a witness or like a snitch in a case, their actual names being mentioned? The fact that they didn't redact it. We all think that the feds and prosecutors threw her name in there purposely to apply more pressure because Dylan was really wishy-washy during the interrogation. And with them, putting these words, set in stone on paper, it kind of puts a lot of pressure on.
Think about it. She was wishy-washy the entire fucking time. And she kept saying that. She's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I was dreaming. I don't know shit about shit, man.
Her now, because everyone views her as like some star witness, the star of the case.
No, she's actually going to blow it all up. She's going to go. So that's what we all believe, that she kind of is getting screwed over.
So that's what we all believe, that she kind of is getting screwed over by, the feds and the prosecutor. Because now she has to testify and she has to say kind of what words they put in her mouth instead of what she actually believed, and what she actually knows happened, like with her own words, not words that were like shoved in her mouth, So, yeah, her attorney is pretty upset. She's pretty upset. But at the same time, she knows that, she can be a huge help in this case. So it's not like she's identifying somebody she didn't see. It just didn't play out necessarily like, oh, bushy eyebrows. She saw bushy eyebrows, and was able to 100% identify him. It's just initially when detectives and feds came in and took over the scene had been contaminated so badly.
Listen to that. So badly the scene had been contaminated. Like,
by the local authorities when they first came, first responders, they stomped all over the place, contaminated the scene. All the other people that were at the house, they were walking up and down the steps to make sure what they're seeing is what they're really seeing.
what do you guys think about this? Dude, what is going on? Do you guys remember this? Dude, it's kind of matching up, right? It's fucking wild. This came out January of 2023 after Dylan basically is like, it's like a, whoa, wait, this is not what the fuck I said in any of these interviews. What are they doing? What's going on?
So, I mean, this is a scene that was really badly contaminated. So to equal the playing field, the feds feel like, having a star witness is critical here. But just the way she was being interrogated initially was, it's kind of crazy. It's not what you guys think. They weren't being all sensitive and gentle to her. They were really accusatory and kind of, pressured, put the press on her. Thought that she might have something to do with it because it just didn't make sense to them why she's the only one alive. And on top of that, didn't see anything or really hear anything. She didn't want to be nosy, didn't want to, get up in her roommate's business. She told him to be quiet. I mean, the last thing that crossed her mind was people are getting slaughtered next door and upstairs, So.
Next door, and upstairs. Next door, like to where from her room is. Holy shit.
I think that's pretty much everything I've covered. So yeah, just to go over the whole, suffering trauma. She was shocked that she saw him walk past her. Like, it's not as dramatic as you guys think. Like, he was already halfway towards the kitchen and walking out. And for
That's exactly what she said. Dude, this person totally talked to Dylan. You go back and you fucking. And for y'all that are scratching your heads, yes, police do lie. Yes, they do. They've kind of thrown everybody around the ringer through this whole case from the very start. Yes, dude, this fucking person talked to Dylan.
all of y'all that are scratching your heads, yes, police do lie. They've kind of thrown everybody around the ringer through this whole case from the very start. And you have to think about it. Why would a survivor, a victim, have to hire an attorney? Obviously, they were mistreating her pretty badly as they're interrogating her, and especially now throwing her name in the affidavit like that. That's all because they're pretty upset she hired an attorney to begin with. And because they want to put a lot of pressure on her from the public for her to be the star witness. But aside from that, she's doing good. She's the same old Dylan. Yeah, no, there's no trauma, PTSD, anything. She really feels for, her friends who are deceased. And, she does beat herself up a little bit about, not being more involved in the situation that night. But, realistically, I mean, something like that's not going to cross your mind that something like that's taking place in your house. So yeah, she does feel for the family, and she's really saddened by the whole situation. But as far as her as an individual, she's still the same person. She's not like a traumatized individual, So yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything. And let's see. Yeah, no, that's everything. Hopefully this video doesn't come off sounding crazy, and clears up a lot of the questions everybody has. All right.
So there you have it.
So there you guys have it. What do you think?
So, in light of knowing what we know now, having seen the body cam footage that we've seen, what do you think? Is this real? Was he really in Dylan's inner circle? And did this information come from Dylan?
I gotta give it. I'm going totally like if you got 1 to 10, I'm giving him. I'm gonna go with a 7.8. I'm going 7.8. Okay. I mean, I'm going to 7.8. 8. There you go. Of course, or I mean, victim impact statement, right? Probably. I mean, I wouldn't be going to sleep fucking. I'd be scared to go to sleep after that. No, every little noise you'd hear, be like, wait, what? I don't know. It'd get jumpy. Anyways. You guys know that she went to the Boise State football game December 22nd, right? You guys know that? Go look it up. You guys want to see the pictures? Dylan Mortensen went to the Boise State football game. Tailgating down there in good old Boise, and was taking pictures with her friends. And the one friend posted it to Visco, and I got a copy of it. And I'm like, hot damn, Bridget, what the fuck y'all doing? Remember the picture with the girl with like the knife between her tits? I'm like, how the fuck y'all interview her? I'm like, just curious about your knife tattoo here. You think we could talk for a minute? Just curious. Who did it? Yeah. So, all right, guys, we're going to call it a night here. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Truth and Transparency. Appreciate you. We just went around the circle. It was nice to see Thought Riot podcast. I don't know where they went. Hopefully they're doing well, like I said. Thought Riot podcast. So, right. When's the last time that they ever did like a video? They did a video. Let's see. Live. They've done a live over like a year ago. It's got to be longer than that. I swear it's longer than that. Let me see. What's the date? May 7th, 2024. Yeah, it's going to be 2 years in May. But they did a live. Well, if anybody still talks to them, tell them Truth and Transparency says hello and that we hope they're doing well. So, yeah. It'll be 2 years that they've done a live in May. So has anybody heard from them at all? I know that I know that when they went off, I don't know how, but they stopped producing any shows. And then literally over the past like almost 2 years, they took their channel from like, I don't know, like 10,000 subscribers to like almost 80,000 subscribers without doing anything though. It's very, did you guys notice that? So I didn't know if they were doing something with Google or making something, but they but normally like when you want to look at, I don't know. I didn't know if maybe like something happened. Oh, and I'm going to show, let me show you guys something. I want to show what I want to talk about with the Epstein files is I've been doing some research and doing some digging, and I want to show the pictures, all the pictures that have come across the files. That's kind of how I want to do it. I want to just show you guys the pictures, and what the way that we're going to do it is whoever knows, hey, whoever that is in a picture, like if I haven't already been able to like determine, then that's how we're going to, they do podcasts. So they just don't do videos. Like they don't ever go on camera. Hold on, let me look. podcast. Yeah, no. I don't know what they're doing. So basically, over a year ago, it says update. These next 30 or more days, our content will fluctuate in scheduling and reliability as we prepare to change studios and break too much equipment down, backdrops, walls, lighting, and more. Just want to comment to everyone that we are doing our absolute best to speed this along, and we'll continue pushing to have it all done sooner rather than later. After we are in the new studio, we will get back to our regular, reliable schedule plus more. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. And then it was just like poof, gone. Okay. Well, I hope they're doing fine. I hope that they're all good. Oh, I think so. I don't think they are on YouTube anymore. Oh, they do something else? Oh. Email me that. I'm curious because I want to reach out to them. Maybe they'll come on as a guest. All right. So yeah. My the way that I want to do the Epstein series, I was going to do like 10 episodes and to do like 50 to 100 picks per episode. What do you guys think? I mean, it's just so fucking massive. Great. I think you guys said yes. You guys love it. Awesome. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. Be kind.